what are your thoughts? Because a lot of non-Ram fans will say that the LA Rams, they have the stars, they're in Hollywood, they have the big names, Donald, Ramsey, Cup, etc., but they lack positional depth, and this is something that the Niners strive in with our complete 53-man roster. So what do you say to the critics who say that, yeah, the Rams have the big stars, but if one of those guys gets nicked up, they won't have the depth behind them? Is that true? Is that a true statement? They don't have depth.
Well, I mean, it is true. I mean, if you don't have depth, you could be a problems, but you can't have everything. You can't bring in a Wagner. You can't bring in a Von Miller. You can't bring in an OBJ or all these big name players and also have a bunch of backups everywhere. So we pick and choose. I mean, our secondary is pretty good. Our offensive line has pretty decent backups now. The quarterback room, it's going to be amazing this preseason because I'm looking for Bryce Perkins, who's a mobile quarterback, to beat out Wolford. He's got a decent arm and he's mobile and he's even hurdling guys. So imagine, flash forward 3 years, you have maybe Bryce Perkins leading the Rams, a mobile quarterback, against Trey Lance leading the Niners. But I would rather have a team that's Super Bowl capable and Super Bowl contender, and we have some deficiencies on depth, than being back to the Jeff Fisher era. Because, I mean, this whole thing about we're going to draft and we're going to build brick by brick and we're going to do this, it doesn't work for 31 other teams. They've been doing that for years. Ask the Browns. Ask the Jets. The Niners haven't won a Super Bowl in 30 years. I mean, you have to win now because of free agency. I mean, every year we lose players. So it does work to a point, but you have to bring in top names. You have to do that now because it is what it is. Imagine, check this out, Jay. Imagine, I know Trey Lance is your guy and everything, and we'll see what happens. I would have had sleepless nights and nightmares if you guys would have picked up Stafford, stayed pat and got Mac Jones, because imagine Stafford with that running game. Right. And then you could have got Mac Jones or maybe even got Kyle Pitts. And, maybe if you needed to trade my guy Kittle because he gets hurt. And get some draft picks for him. I mean, that's the way you could have been a monster for the next 2 or 3 years and probably already won the Super Bowl with Stafford. But with Trey Lance, he's a young kid. We'll see what happens. But I'm so glad that we were able to get in there and get him before you guys had a chance to get Stafford.
I think we're happy with how it turned out. I mean, there's no doubt Stafford. He's a potential Hall of Fame player. Had some great seasons. He puts up great numbers. But I think we're happy with Trey Lance. The dual threat option at quarterback. Kyle Shanahan hasn't really had that quarterback since RG3, and he lit up his rookie season. I believe RG3 got Rookie of the Year. So we are very, very excited with Trey Lance. He's got all the weapons around him. The offensive line, I think that'll get situated in training camp. But we've got weapons galore. You might have heard of this guy, Deebo Samuel. And no, he has not been signed to an extension yet, but pay me. But he did show up to mandatory minicamp. So